Legislative update. I will discuss again just briefly. House Bill 1202 and Senate Bill 1321 was signed into law as legislation to arm teachers. I'm not going to repeat what I said specifically. I do want to touch some highlights. I will say that I've been watching the thought of this idea for a long time in my career. Early in my career, it would have never been dreamed of because we put so much emphasis on school being a weapon-free zone. As things begin to happen, and I've been around long enough to remember the amazement, the shock that we all experience as educators as some of these school shootings happened around the country. This debate is not new. I settled this debate in my eyes a long time ago. Being a teacher, being an administrator, 30 years plus, it's all I've ever done. I did not believe then, I do not believe now, that we need to put this on teachers. They need to teach our kids. I did watch that bill go through and spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people, even some legislators, listening to all sides, even directors in other counties. If we did not have the SRO program we have in Wilson County, I'd be saying we got to do something. But we have just the history of this, and Larry, you may help me. I think we're the first county to put them in all schools, Wilson County. I guess that was Sheriff Ash years ago. And it's continued to expand, and not just expand. We have other districts reach out and want to know what we're doing. I've been fortunate enough to have several SROs that I've worked with on a daily basis, got to know. I feel very comfortable with our SR program. I am adamant that we need to continue to support that. You know, I remember when this county, that was a big deal. A lot of people don't remember this. It was a big deal when they said, we're going to use tax dollars to put one in every school. Our high schools now have multiple. There's even discussion. We're in all kinds of discussions with Sheriff and myself. What's the future look like in school safety? And that's where I'm going to spend our time. I will not agree to arming a teacher. It's not in my fiber. And I'm not against guns at all. I do want to say this. There is no action of this board understanding the law. I think that's very important. That law is a permissive law that would allow that if three things happen or three people approved. The principal, and let me say I've made a statement to some of my principals. I don't even want to put that pressure on a principal. They've got enough on them as well. I've been in their shoes. But a principal, a director of schools, and a sheriff or chief law officer that has jurisdiction over that school must sign off on it. I kind of reached out early on and said, this is my stance. I will not do it. Sheriff Bryan has supported me in that. We have had many discussions about this. It's not the first time this bill has come. I want to say I've not discussed as a board matter because it is not a board matter. I will say that I informed my board members privately of my stance, and I will tell you that they all said, I'm going to trust what you do to run that part of our school on a daily basis. That's what I was told, and I appreciate that. I am adamant about one thing, and I'm going to say this. I've been in this seat almost 3 years, I guess. We have got to take the politics out of our schoolhouse. We have got to find common ground on and really look at the issues. These are serious issues. It's got way too dramatized from political standpoints, in Jeff Luttrell's opinion. We have got to base our decisions using resources that are available from multiple sources to determine what's the best step. I don't want to get it wrong for anybody. The consequences of this decision could be devastating on numerous points. And there's no taking that back. I'd rather put that on my shoulders as a leader of this district, that I will not have no intention of it. I will say I have yet to hear from a teacher. In fact, I've heard from teachers saying thank you. That's what I've heard. Even from some people that I would have thought I'll be honest. If I went to them and said, I need you to do this, they probably were loyal enough to this district. They would have thought about it. But even some of them have come to me and said, I'm glad. Let's focus on other things. That is my stance. It's not 100% approval by everybody. I do not do this for cheers and snap. I'm not about all that. I appreciate y'all being here, but I take this very serious. And that's the decision that I've made, and that's where I will stand. And I thank this board for allowing me. When I discussed it, it was pretty quick discussions, and all of them immediately said, we're going to trust you to handle and make that decision. And that's what I've done.